What's up, guys? Welcome to the Indie Credible Podcast, episode 10. And you can probably notice straight away if you're watching that it's just me. If you're listening, I could have tried to put on some voices and pretend to be Dan or Tom, but I don't want to make them sound better than they actually are. But no, it is just me. It's been a bit of it's been a very bizarre week, a bit of a stressful week, and we had to initially cancel the podcast. But before Rezzed, there was a big gap where we couldn't have we didn't get a podcast up. So I was like, no, I want to get something out. I want to give a podcast back out there. We like doing the podcasts. I don't want people to think, oh, the Indie Credible podcast is just gone, disappeared. So it is just me. So it's going to be a shorter podcast. It's going to be about a 30-minute podcast, just going through games I've been playing, my impressions of those games, and then going through the week's indie game news. It won't be a main topic. And then next week we'll all be back together and we can actually get into the swing of things about actual podcast. And we're fully aware that the Not So Indie show was missed for March. Again, it was a crazy month, hence why there's not been many podcasts. But April's one will be recorded next week, ready to go live for patrons next week, ready to go live for non-patrons in 2 weeks' time. But enough of that, guys. The Indie Credible Podcast. Where can you find us? We are available on all audio services, including Spotify now. Yes, we are actually officially on Spotify. Type in Indie Credible, Indie-Credible. You will see us. You can follow us on Spotify. You can get us on Spotify. You won't believe how hard it was to get us there, but I got us there. It's cool. We're done. That's it. We're giving up now. No, joking. We're also on Soundcloud. We're on Player FM. We're on tons of podcast services. And we're on YouTube. The perks of watching us on YouTube is any game we speak about or any game I speak about today, a trailer or my gameplay from it this week will be playing behind us on a little TV or a superimposed TV, shall we say. So you can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to explain, because I do my best to try and explain games. I don't necessarily do the best. And hello to our new patrons, guys. We have 2 new patrons as of this week. We've got Tyler and we have got who goes by the name of Foreign User or Pretentious. Both lovely guys. Both have been jumping in Discord and have been chatting to them already. And look forward to playing some games, you guys. So yeah, if you're interested and get us on, or follow us on Patreon, or supporting us on Patreon, I should say, then make sure you check the link out in the description below. The perks of it are quite simple. Again, ad-free podcast. You get exclusive pre- and post-show content. This week it is only pre because it's just me, and it's going to be boring if you hear me for an hour straight. And you also get access to our Discord, so you can jump on, you can join other people to play games, or we throw away keys on there. I know Pretentious has already been throwing a couple of keys. So yeah, we do giveaways on there. We do all sorts on Discord, and you can support us for $1 a month if you really, really want to. I'll support us with the $5 a month tier, and your name will come across the screen around about now, and again at the end. But yes, enough of me waffling on, guys. I'm Woody Lewis. You can find me at What's Up Woody if you're interested in following me. I don't know why you would be, but if you like Gwent, definitely follow me, because I tweet about Gwent a lot, I play Gwent a lot, and I stream Gwent a lot. But that's enough of me. You're here about indie games, so again, I want to apologise quickly because I've done this to our patrons, but to everybody else, because it's great. Obviously, our patrons are our number one supporters, shall we say. But we have people who jump into the chat, the comments on YouTube, or I get emails by people, or we get people who contact us through the website. And there are people who genuinely listen to the podcast and seem to genuinely enjoy it. So I just want to apologise that there hasn't been many recently. It's just been a very crazy, busy time. And apologies that this one isn't an official podcast in terms of it's just me. But hopefully I can keep your attention for about the 30 minutes that we're going to go for. So I'm going to dive into what I've been playing. So 4 games to get through this week. I'm going to quickly just touch on the first one because I've only put about an hour and a half into it, purely because I've been doing 2 big reviews. So the one I'm going to talk about is Dangerous Driving, first of all, which is basically the spiritual successor to Burnout. I was very excited when I saw this announced. I've been following its development all the whole way along, and the game is out now. The game's out on PlayStation, PC, through Epic Store, and Xbox. Dangerous Driving, is it Burnout? Hell yes, this game is Burnout. This game is Burnout 1 to Revenge, not Paradise, because I will still argue with anyone that Burnout Paradise is not a Burnout game. It's EA doing Need for Speed open world and seeing if it works. Rant over. But Dangerous Driving is fecking brilliant if you like Burnout. It is straight up Burnout. It has takedown modes, so effectively you're just taking the other cars down. Pursuit modes, you can race as the cops, trying to take down other cars. Time trials, it's got races. It feels like Burnout. It's very arcadey, like very, very arcadey in terms of you pretty much hold a boost the whole way around your racing. Racing on the opposite side of the road gives you boost. Taking cars down gives you boost. Slipstreaming gives you boost. There's not a handbrake. All you do is you boost into a corner or drive into a corner at speed, tap the brake at speed and hold the steer direction, and your back end will kick out. The takedowns are cool. I mean, you haven't got the crazy animations you used to have in Burnout where doors would fly off and all this kind of thing. You got animations where the car rolls and the wheels come off. But you got to remember, this is a game made by a small team and an independent team, basically. Whereas Burnout is a AAA EA published game. What I'm hoping is, well, I like everything this game has to offer as a Burnout fan. If you like Burnout 1 to Revenge, then I recommend getting this game because it is straight up Burnout. I'm hoping that this game gets supported and this game finds a market and this game gets picked up and gives the developers the funds to turn around and go, cool, now we can make the full Burnout game we want to make, Dangerous Driving 2. This has got all those cool animations. It's got everything like that in it, okay? One thing that's really cool about Dangerous Driving is it's coming, all the DLC in the game will be free. Completely free. So they've already said that the first thing they're adding is new car class, I believe, and multiplayer. Multiplayer is definitely coming. At the moment, there is only online leaderboards. There is no online multiplayer, but online multiplayer is coming to the game. Next thing they are adding, or next thing that is rumoured to be adding, and this is a strict rumoured to be adding, is a crash mode. Let's be honest, that's why you want this game. These guys made a Danger Zone, which is effectively a crash mode version solo game of Burnout. It was more mobile than I would have liked, but it was okay. If they can take what they developed 3 years ago or 2 years ago in Danger Zone and polish it and then put it into Dangerous Driving, I think everyone's going to be happy. Come on, everyone wants a crash mode. And then if they can do that and the game can get supported, who knows? We get an even better Dangerous Driving 2. This game's cool. If you like Burnout, check out Dangerous Driving. Next, a game I'm so mixed on, and I'm going to have a mini review up beginning of next week, and this is Outward. Now, I've meant to review the game, and I've been playing the game for the last 4 weeks, and if I'm being completely honest, I'm really struggling with Outward, really struggling with the game. I completely appreciate what the game is trying to do. I just don't enjoy playing it, if I'm being completely honest. Now, Outward, if you don't know, is what is billed as an adventure life sim, and that title sums it up an absolute peach. It's a survival game through and through. In terms of your life sim elements come through, you have to feed yourself, you have to drink water, you have to make sure you're warm in cold temperatures, you have to make sure you're cold or cool in warm temperatures. You have to make sure you have a house, you have to make sure you get sleep or the right amount of sleep, you have to then set guard when you're sleeping, you have to cook, you have to do everything that you'd expect in a life sim. The adventure comes in terms of you have to go across fantasy lands, take on fancy creatures, get loot, sell the loot, get better gear, and do it all over again. It's the idea of the game is you explore these fantasy worlds. The game doesn't hold your hand one bit. It's straight off the bat, basically go do what you want to do. Yeah, there's a quest line. You haven't got to go do the quest line if you don't want to do the quest line. With that said, there is a big part that I've just unlocked, which is the mana, which is basically the ability to use magic in combat. That's a big thing to unlock, so you kind of have to follow this quest line for that. That took me about 10 hours to unlock that. You could do it quicker if you just beeline for it, but yeah, here's what I don't like about the game. The accessibility is jank. It's just like, half it doesn't even, it doesn't tell you anything, which I get. Now, that would be fine if, A, the world is fun to explore. It's not. There's nothing around. You run around, you see a little ruin, you go over there, you get killed because I'll get to the combat in a minute, but the combat isn't very good and it's severely unbalanced early game. So you'll die a lot early game, not because the game wants you to die, not because the game's a challenge. You never know if you're going in the right direction, which is, I get the map. I actually like the way they've done the map in terms of there's no markers to show you where you're going. You're just basically, you're walking and you have to look at landmarks and then look at the map and work out, I'm here, I can see this tower over here, I must be right here, I keep heading west to go there. I like the way that's worked. But with that said, I spent 2 hours basically trying to find this place and I had no idea where it was. And that would be fine if I could then fight some creatures, set up camp and collect loot on my 2-hour journey. The game is so unbalanced early on that you're deliberately meant to die. Like, there's no point taking stuff on. So that 2 hours is just me running away from creatures or away from bandits trying to find a place. That is not fun. That's not exploration. That is not adventure. That's just boring. It's not even grinding. Like, if you're going to play an RPG to grind, then fine. This is coming from the person who will play Final Fantasy games and will put in 20 hours before I even go and do anything. Just grinding. I love grinding in games, let me clarify that. And but this game doesn't offer. This game has no respect for players' time whatsoever. With all that said, I respect almost every decision they've made, because for the market that want this, for the market that want the true exploration adventure game, that's what this is. This is a case of, yeah, just get your stuff and go wander. Like, if you was to wander off and come across a creature in real life, chances are you're going to die. You're going to die in the game. Now, the way that it handles death is pretty cool. You don't actually ever die. You wake up somewhere random. The biggest issue there is there's not much consistency to where you wake up. Some guy called Geb leaves you a letter one time. Another time I woke up in a bandit camp. Another time I woke up in a cave. And I'm like, well, why am I waking up in these places? I don't get it. Outward is a game that I'll go into more detail on my mini review, which is basically titled, Is Outward the Game for You? If it is the game for you, it's probably your game of the year. Hands down. If it isn't a game for you, you're going to hate it. Genuinely going to hate it. Also, I found out through streaming it and chatting to people in chat, the game is crap on console. You can't draw on the map, which apparently you can do on PC, and that is a big part of the game. It looks like shite on console. The textures hardly ever render in. And you even get points where questline NPCs just do not appear. Straight up don't appear. Not there. No one's there. Pretty annoying, okay? But that's all I'm going to say on Outward. If you want to hear more on it, then check out my mini review at the beginning of next week. Now, 2 games I have been playing. I can't say tons about them because they are... One is heavily embargoed. The other one is slightly embargoed because it's actually available on PC now. And we're going to kick off with My Time in Porsche, the one that's slightly embargoed. This is on PC now. It's been in early access. It was in early access for about 18 months. And then it released on PC beginning of the year. And it is now coming to consoles on Tuesday, my birthday, 16th of April. So if you're interested in that, this is definitely a game for the Switch. Now, My Time in Porsche, I'm currently 19 hours in. I literally checked just before I jumped on this. I'm 19 hours in. I am playing on PC. The review I got in time with the console release. Tom Smith, who normally sits here, Tom Smith is playing the game currently on PlayStation. I'm constantly talking to him, see how the game runs compared to the two. Now, My Time in Porsche, if you don't know, is a kind of Stardew Valley meets Rune Factory. That's one for you there, Tom. Meets your farming sim, life sim kind of game. You arrive to this place called Porsche, and you get given a workshop, and you basically have to meet the locals. You have to fulfill quotas, building quotas, to level up your workshop, to get more reputation, to get bigger building quotas, to then build bridges to new islands, to then go explore new islands. There's crafting in it, there's farming in it, there's livestock in it, there's fishing in it, there's combat in it, there's mining in it, there's mini fighting games in it, there's mini rock, paper, scissors fighting games in it, there's a whole relationship management thing in it, there's a buddy system in it, there's all sorts, there's tons, there's fleshing out your house with furniture. You can kind of see, probably straight away from the trailer, or my gameplay actually is playing up there, exactly what kind of game it is. And that's exactly what this is. It appeals to a market. I am certainly that game's market. I'm loving my time with the game. Straight up. Absolutely loving my time with the game. It gets certain things absolutely spot on. The area you're in, Porsche, it's fun to run around. It's nice to run around. It looks pretty. All the characters or the NPCs you come across, they're all different. They all offer something new. Finding a little bit more about them is not like going to change the way you see the whole game and the story, but it's interesting enough. When you talk to them, dialogue's given back in like a 1-sentence caption. So it's nice and short. I can just chat to someone. Oh, cool. Do you fancy game of rock, paper, scissors? Bang, there you go. I'm done. I've gone up 2 buddy levels with them. I'm not their age just trying to grind away. It's not like a relationship sim. I'm not trying to constantly battle with them and trying to get them up. I'm not playing The Sims for crying out loud. This understands players' time. And that is the biggest thing I love about this game. It respects players' time. Everything, literally everything you do in this game rewards you XP. You pick up wood from the floor, you get XP. You chat to someone, you get XP. You craft something, you get XP. You pick up something you've crafted, you get XP. You go and chop a tree down, you get XP. You go and mine some stones, you get XP. You sell something, you get XP. You get XP for everything. Meaning that just doing whatever you want to do in this world levels you up. And by leveling you up, you get more stamina, you get stronger, so you can take on higher enemies, and you also get, you don't actually level your workshop up, that's a whole other mechanic, but you kind of open up more time to spend doing stuff in the game, because stamina's a big thing. When your stamina's run out, you have to go to bed. Simple as that. Fighting, fishing, mining, farming, crafting, all that stuff takes up stamina. The combat in the game is perfectly fine. You mash. I'm playing on PlayStation, on the PC with an Xbox controller, so you just press X to swing your sword about. You have to kind of do these quotas or meet these quotas to get money to then upgrade your workshop or your benches and all things like that. I don't want to go on ages about my time in Porsche because it's not everyone's cup of tea. But if you like Stardew Valley, genuinely, if you like Stardew Valley, I spent 200 hours in Stardew Valley over Switch and PC. You're going to love my time in Porsche. Genuinely, you're going to love my time in Porsche. I actually prefer it to Stardew Valley. Like I said, I'm only 20 hours in. I've scratched the surface of this game. I've not unlocked. I think there's 2 more islands for me to unlock. I've only just started coming across what I'm going to call boss creatures. They're like mini boss creatures. They actually require some mechanics to them. I've still not unlocked everything to craft. I've just made a little tut-tut that I can kind of drive around in. The game is still opening up to me. I'm only 2 seasons through the bloody game, and there's 4 seasons to get through before you do the whole year. And then apparently more stuff opens up in year 2. It's just like, what the hell? Apparently there's a plane in the game. I don't know what the hell you can do with a plane. So I've got to put some serious time in. I'm aiming to get around 30 hours in before I review the game. Because although I've not unlocked everything there, 30 hours in, I'm going to know whether I can recommend the game or not. I will say one thing about the game. 2 things about the game. It is very much that case if you haven't played this game before. If you look at my gameplay and thinking, this looks really cute, this looks cool, I want to jump onto this kind of game on the Switch, there is a 10-hour curve to it. I say 10 hour loosely, 8 to 10 hours. Where the first 8 to 10 hours are very much you have to farm the wood, the stone, you have to build your basic tools, you have to build your basic crafting benches, and you're kind of doing, it's very repetitive in the first 8 to 10 hours, because if you've never played this game before, that's what you do. That's all you have to do. Hoard as much stuff you can, store it in boxes, and then about 8-10 hours in, once you put down the first bridge and you open up the first cave, all of a sudden it starts opening up. Oh, I can do this now, I can do this now, I've got the resource to do this. These person are asking for this, I'm now competing for this. You're all of a sudden starting to finish higher up in your monthly rankings of workshops in Porsche, meaning you're getting a lot more money, meaning you can upgrade quicker, and all of a sudden the game really starts to snowball. But it isn't 8 to 10 hours. If you only pick this game up, play for 3 hours, you're going to go, this is just a repetitive mess. And that's what the game is if you've not played these games before. If you've played them before, you'll completely appreciate that's what you do in these games. But yeah, my time in Porsche, having a lot of fun with it. But it is not the... I can't say that. It's not the only game I played this week. The other game I've played is Katana Zero. Now, this game is releasing on Thursday, the 18th of April, and it's coming to Switch and PC. My God, this game is super, super, super cool. It's super sweet. It's super sexy. Katana Zero is, the best way to describe it is Hotline Miami 2D side-scrolling platforming action. The reason I compare it to Hotline Miami is you play as this assassin who is given marks. I'm going to be very vague on what I say here because the story kind of goes hard on pretty early on. Now you're given these targets, you go to these levels, you put on some awesome electronic 80s inspired soundtrack, and you make your way through levels killing bad guys and kill the target at the end. Now, to kill the bad guys, you go to a level stage and you'll see a map where there's like rooms and there's doors closed and things like that. The way it's like Hotline Miami is in terms of you kind of plan out almost like in a puzzle mechanic. Okay, these guys are behind this door. I can open this door to kill that guy. I can then slow time down to hit the bullet back to that guy, to then blitz across and kill this guy, grab the plant pot and throw it at that guy. Let's give it a go. Didn't work. Instant, bang. I'm straight back into the game. Let's try again. Like there's no waiting around. You die, you're straight back. And that's how it's like Hotline Miami. You're kind of mapping out how to kill people. And in the end, you're doing it because you're like, I could do this the easy way, but I'm going to do it the hard way because of style. Like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to look shit hot doing this. And that's what you can do. The combat feels super nice. The bullet time feels really cool. The bosses in the game, offer cool little mechanics. They play around on your abilities. The story is very intriguing. The story kind of sucks you in. I'm not going to say any more on that because I don't want to give away any spoilers, and I'm limited on what I can say. There will be a full review for this game going up on the day of release, and yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested by what you've seen on gameplay up there. And if you're interested, I mean, there should be a gameplay video up now on the YouTube channel. So if you want to see the first 20 minutes of Katana Zero, then check it out. I'm not going to speak about this game for ages because I can't. The game is still, there's only so much you can say about the game. I'm really, really enjoying my time in the game. That's all I can say. I really am enjoying playing Katana Zero. It's really cool. But yeah, if you want to hear my full thoughts on it and really dive into the meat of it, the full 10-minute review will be up on the Thursday the game launches. So if you're like, okay, before I buy this game, I want to check it out. Yeah, that's what I'll make sure I get that out. Literally the day the game launches, and that's what I've been playing this week, guys. That is what I've been playing. So we're gonna wrap it up by jumping into the indie game news. We're gonna rattle through the news, and then I'm gonna call it a day there. Yeah, it's just me. You guys want to hear me going on for forever. So wrapping up the news. We kick off with Close to the Sun. Now, Close to the Sun is a game we spoke about last week's podcast, the EGX Rezzed special podcast on day one. Tom and Tom played the game. This is, if you don't know, you can probably tell from the trailer now. It's the BioShock-inspired horror game that is being published by Wide Productions and developed by Storm in a Teacup. Now, the game has got a release date. It's coming to Epic Game Store exclusively on the 2nd of May, and it will come to consoles later 2019. It, as I said, is very BioShock-esque. Tom and Tom even said it very much felt like BioShock, but when you jumped into it more, they said it felt more like a narrative adventure than it did BioShock. Not as much combat going on. Definitely very horror-inspired or very horror-rich world. There's lots of letters to read, lots of story to find and pick up on. You're based on this Nikola Tesla spaceship or airship, and they enjoyed the time of the game. The big issue Tom Crawford had, Insanity, if you know him more personally, then is that the game broke on him. The developers come over and said, you can't go down there, the game isn't finished there yet. That was a week ago, and the game is releasing in 2 weeks' time. That's my concern there. Tom was literally told not to go down part of the game because it just doesn't work. So I'm hoping that, 3 weeks isn't a ton of time in game development, but I'm hoping the game gets patched, gets fixed, gets sorted, and gets released. I'm probably not going to be playing it until console release. We won't be having a review for this one, guys, purely because timing. We don't have time. There's other games. Our reviews we map out and we kind of go, okay, I can review this here, I can review this here, I can review this here. That's just a big busy schedule for us. If you're looking forward to it, let us know in the comments below, guys. Yeah, we'd love to know if you're looking forward to Close to the Sun. Like I said, I didn't play it, Dan didn't play it, but both Toms played it. Tom Smith, who normally sits here, who normally sits next to me, who's normally on the podcast for our audio listeners, loves BioShock games, loves them. Wasn't blown away by Close to the Sun, but was intrigued to see more of the game. They were his words, or that's me paraphrasing him. But anyway, moving on. Darksburg got its first gameplay trailer. Now, if you know what Darksburg is a game being developed by Shiro Games. It's a French indie studio. They made games like Northgard and the Evoland series. Northgard is the Viking RTS kind of cutesy looking game on PC, if you know that. And the Evoland series, or the Evoland games, are available on mobile. They're available on consoles. I think they're even on the Switch now. They're the pixel art style, side-scrolling action platforming games. And the next game is Darksburg, and it's a multiplayer zombie horde game for up to 4 players. It looks kind of fun. It's kind of twin-stick shooter, isometric, twin-stick shooter, wave-based. You play on your own, play with 2 players, play with 4 players. Kill the enemy horde, or the zombie horde, and go to the next level. We don't know tons more about the game. That's honestly all I can tell you about it. It carries without being too degrading on the game, it carries a generic art style to it. There's nothing new that's made me go, wow, I cannot wait to get my hands on Darksburg. But, the fact that it's a game that we can play together as a group or with our patrons, it's definitely something I'm looking out for. And, yeah, the gameplay trailer you saw behind me now is the first gameplay trailer we saw of the game. Next, we move to For the King. Now, For the King is a game I played about a year ago on Steam Early Access. It has fully released now on PC. It's a again isometric kind of board game, roguelike board game style game where you move across the land in like a hex grid based style system. You take on enemies. When I played it, it didn't have a ton to the game. I put in about 10 hours at first and almost done what I could do in the game. Since then, there's been tons of updates. There's new game modes, there's new game areas, there's new characters to play. There's so much to play. I haven't played it deliberately because I want to play it on my Switch, if I'm being completely honest. And the game is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch on PS4 on the 7th of May, Xbox on the 9th of May, and Switch on the 10th of May. And that's why it's featured in our story, because it got a release date for those. It's developed by Iron Oak Games and being published by Curve Digital. Physical editions are available for pre-order through what's that called? The special edition. I can't remember. Not limited runs. The other guys. I can't remember. The ones you get coin from and that. They're really cool limited physical editions they do, but that's where the Switch physical limited edition is available from, if you're interested in that. It's a cool game. If you like challenging roguelites, if you like the kind of board game style games, then definitely check out For the King. I think you'll enjoy it, and looks like there's a ton there to do now. I mean, I put 10 hours in and pretty much finished early access when it first launched. I could have gone through and played more stuff. It's a roguelike, so of course you can keep playing through more. Now, I reckon, honestly, if I put a number on it, I'm going to say it's 50 hours minimum of content in this game. No word of a lie. This game has got so much in it now. I was reading through it and seeing what was on the game. I jumped on it on Steam quickly just to see. I was like, I'm not going to play it again now. I want to play this on Switch. We will have a review, though, for this close to the time. I'll probably play the PC version over the next couple of weeks in the background, kind of getting an idea for it, and then I can put a review out. So if you're interested in this, if you want to know what we think about it in more depth, then wait for the review, which we launch close to the game's release, which starts on the 7th of May on PS4. Second from last news, Dangerous Driving. It's not really news because I've already covered this, but Dangerous Driving has launched. It's released now. And they've also confirmed that all DLC is free. And they have confirmed that that's what I missed. They have confirmed the first piece of DLC. And as I said, that is going to be online, or it's going to be multiplayer mode. It's going to be more car classes. But this is what I did forget to mention. If you have a Spotify premium account, you can link it to the game. And basically it means you can play your music in-game. So the sound effects of the game still play over. And if anyone's played a Burnout style game, you'll know that music in that is pretty important. Because you kind of, especially when you're doing stuff like time trials, I'm telling you now, Dangerous Driving's time trials are seriously hard. You're probably playing that track for an hour, 2 hours straight just to learn the track. Learn the best way of getting around without crashing. And having your own music to do that is pretty cool. So if you've got Spotify Premium, it will work. However, it won't work with a free Spotify account. It has to be Spotify Premium. It's part of the partnership deal that they had going. So yeah, that's Dangerous Driving DLC update. And we finish off with another game that we played at EGX Rezzed last week. And that is No Straight Roads. No Straight Roads got a new trailer called Welcome to Vinyl City. This is a game that we were all very happy to play. We're all very excited to see more of now. Tom Crawford, or Insanity, and myself both sat down and done a preview on it. So if you want to see the game in action, there is a preview on the YouTube channel now. But yes, again, the new trailer looks really cool. If you don't know what No Straight Roads is, it definitely is it's a rhythm-inspired game that plays out in a boss rush action-style fashion. The devs, when we spat to them? We didn't spit at them, don't worry. When we sat with them last week, they basically turned around and said that we wanted to make a game inspired by music, but we didn't want the player to be punished for not hitting the right notes. So the way it works is these boss rush battles, or these boss battles, will happen when there'll be a beat going on in the background. And if they're doing, say, moves where they're slamming down arms, their arms will slam down to the beat. You're like, bang, dum, bang, dum, bang, dum, bang, dum. So you can, in your head, you go, okay, I can dodge, and I can dodge, and I can dodge, and I can dodge, and I'm going to dodge, attack, and dodge, attack, and dodge, attack, and dodge, attack. That kind of rhythm to it. There are like purple attacks, and purple attacks can be parried, much like the ones from Cuphead. But purple attacks will again come on the beat. So let's say the start of every 4-4 bar is a purple attack. You can get into the parry attack, dodge attack, parry attack, dodge attack, parry attack, dodge attack. And by parrying, you build up a bar, which then you can shoot stuff at the enemy, at the boss, and it all works very well. It will be interesting to see. We've played the EDM boss, and we've played the classical boss. There are going to be 8 bosses in the game. And it'll be interesting to see what other bosses they have in there. The main story of the game is you're playing as 2 heroes of rock who are looking to restore the glory of rock and take down the empire of EDM. That's literally the elevator pitch, which is enough for me. I'm sold. I'm in. And the new trailer was playing behind me now. You can check it out again if you want. Or check out the preview if you hadn't already and see what the game actually plays like as we talk through the classical boss fight, myself and Tom. But guys, that's going to wrap up. That is episode 10 of the Incredible Podcast. Apologies, that's my chair gone. Apologies, it was only me today. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much just rattling on my own voice. Hopefully it was interesting for you. Like I said, it's been a funny old week. Patrons, you guys know why it was only one of us, but the rest of you guys, it's been a funny old week. I'm sorry it's just me. Promise we're back to our normal routine next week, and we've even got the Not So Indie show next week, so we can really chew the fat on that, and we'll be talking about, I don't know what yet. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm not going to say now because I don't want to say. We're talking about this and we're not. Anyway, I'm going to waffle on now. So, as I said before, you can find us on all audio services. We're available on Spotify. We're available on iTunes. We're available on Soundcloud. We're available on Player FM. We're Player on Podomat. Everywhere, basically. And you can find us on YouTube. The benefit of watching us on YouTube is you get to see the trailers play behind us as we're talking about that game. If you want an ad-free experience on YouTube and you want to get pre- and post-show content, then you can support us over on patreon.com/IndieCredible, or the link is in the description below. They will also get you access to our Discord server. And our Discord server is where we jump on, we play games with the community, we throw away keys, literally throw them away. We get sent lots of stuff at the moment. We've got a closed beta coming up for Steel Circus. I have 20 keys. Patrons will be getting privilege of those. So if you play on PC and you want to give Steel Circus a go, support us over on Patreon. It's not so much bad, $1 a month. And you get keys, you get exclusive pre and post show content, you get access to Discord, you get week early access on the Not So Indie shows, no ads. I mean, it's a bargain. And why are you still here? Go to Patreon, don't look at me anymore. Anyway guys, as we wrap it up, thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you chose to do. It's been a pleasure as always. We're back to our normal routine next week. Thank you for watching. And until next week, you guys stay incredible. Goodbye. Thank you. Good night. Or day or morning, whatever it is. Goodbye.